Okay, I'm here at World of Volvo with Daniel Johansson, the CEO of Axkid worldwide. And just wanted to ask Daniel a few questions. So, first of all, thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you for having me.
And I just wanted to ask the first question, why rear facing?
Well, as we are Swedes, we set already in the 60s the standard of rear facing. The whole idea with that was to compare that to how astronauts were flying up in the sky and how they were protected. But since the 60s, we have been doing this constantly. So I'm 40 years old, I was also in a rear-facing car seat. And now we have all the statistics showing that it is more safer to go rear-facing. If you compare our statistics for Sweden as a country, we have by far the less fertility rates of smaller kids between the age of 0 to 3 years old compared to any other country in the world. And the main explanatory point for that one is extended rear facing or going rear facing for longer. The neck and the hip bones are weak for smaller children, they aren't grown together, and we need to protect that. So rear facing is really that simple, that you spread the forces all over the back here, instead of getting all the forces just on one point of the head.
Okay, thank you. Could you maybe tell us a bit more about the plus test and just what goes into that test?
The plus test was actually from the beginning. If we go back then to 75, we started our own legislation in Sweden. So we were the first one to have a certification process of car seats. Because at that point you didn't certify seats at all, you were just able to sell them. But we as Swedes saw that, okay, we need to make sure that the products are safe. So we came up with something called the T approval, which is the oldest Swedish standard. Then that transformed into the ECE legislation when the other countries saw what we were doing. But we felt that when doing the changes on ECE, that there was no real measurement of the critical values of the neck, as this is the most vulnerable part for kids. So Tommy Pettersson and the guys at VTI, they were thinking about this and then introduced the Swedish plus test, which is specialized to measure the forces in the neck, which is not, by today, still not done in the ECE testing.
Okay. And the last question, when I'm a retailer, and when I get parents come in, sometimes one parent wants to rear face and one isn't convinced. What would you say to a parent who isn't sure if rear facing is the best way for them to travel, for their child, sorry?
Well, to put it in simple, and of course it's harsh to say, but you know, it's the rear facing about saving lives. So even all the the drawbacks that they could see, we have a solution for that with our type of products. But in the end, they have to look at what is most important for them as a parent. And I'm 100% sure that all parents that goes into your store, they are there for the reason to make the safest choice for their kids. And we have more than 50 years of statistics in Sweden showing that this is by far the safest option for your child. And you have to, just understand the easy logic behind. I think what I'm using with when I meet customers like that is to just show them. What do you yourself think if the forces goes into all this area? You spread the forces. It's like when I do this, something happens to the wall. But if I do this, the forces are spread more evenly. So everybody can understand that, to simplify the process, and then understand why it's so much better to go rear facing instead of forward facing, where you have all the forces going like this.
Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.